Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ryan. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into a barrel bottle. Barrel bottle? I know that sounds incorrect, but it's from Barrell Craft Spirits, so it's a barrel bottle. And this is one that has won many awards. It has gotten quite a bit of acclaim. So this is the Vantage, and this was sent in via Damned Thrice, one of our supporters here on the channel. So big shout out to Thrice. Really appreciate your generosity, brother. He's sharing with me Batch 1. So Batch 1 specifically is the one that took number 3 on Whiskey Advocate's top 20 list of 2022. It scored 95 points with them, which is pretty impressive for a bottle of whiskey that only cost $90. And look at the size of the sample he sent me. That's a full pour, and we still got quite a bit more. So I can share this with some friends when they come over. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I will let that open up a little bit, and let's talk about what Barrell Vantage is. So Barrell, if you're not familiar with them, they are Kentucky-based, but they're blenders. So what they do is they purchase whiskey, and then they will finish it in different kinds of barrels and blend them together to get just the right flavor profile that they're after. And the Vantage is an expression where they take 3 different whiskeys. So it's a bourbon from Kentucky, Indiana, and Tennessee whiskey, right? So the 3 of those, and then they individually finish them in 3 different kinds of barrels. So it's finished in mizunara, French oak, and then a toasted American oak barrel. Now you may be wondering, okay, what's the difference between a Japanese oak and a French oak and American oak? Isn't oak just oak? And the answer is no. These are different specific species of oak, and so they sort of lend themselves to different flavor profiles. So I always consult famed whiskey writer Lou Bryson's book, Whiskey Masterclass, when talking about the flavors that different kinds of woods are going to give the whiskey. So, for example, his excerpt here on Mizunara Oak, he says this: it yields aromas of sandalwood, tropical fruit like ripe firm mango, putty and spicy oak, and bright flavors of ripe fruit, busy wood shop, vanilla, and allspice. There you go. That's Japanese Mizunara oak. And then Quercus robur, which is Limousin oak, French oak. This is what he says about French oak. French oak is less dense than white oak, but has a tighter grain and higher levels of tannins. The grain makes it necessary to split the oak rather than sawing it, and it gives you notes of dried fruit, spice, leather, and chocolate. So, there you go. By the way, if you don't have this book, I have talked about it before. Get it. It's sort of like your guide to flavor creation in whiskey. So like I said, Barrell Vantage comes in around $90, depends on who you get it from. I've seen it listed for as low as $80 actually. So it's not like a bank breaker. It's also 57.22 ABV, so 114 plus on the proof. So it's got some heat to it as well. And with that, let's nose this thing. And the first thing that comes to mind on the nose of this is actually, I think, peach cobbler. I get that bright fruit note from the peach, but also a sort of savory bread, flaky pastry dough, and some sweet baking spices in there too, which makes me think of cobbler, right? Savory, baking spices, sugary, and fruit all in one. That's cobbler right there. Beautiful nose. Lots of sweet oak on there too. I kind of expected it to smell more tannic, and I'm sort of pleasantly surprised at how fruity and bright it is on the nose. I really do think of like sweet pastries, like a cream cheese Danish, you know? All right, let's try it. Cheers. Oh man, this is an oak bomb, but not like super tannic. It's gentle, spicy, and fruity all wrapped up in one. So it's brighter than something like some of the more recent double oaked products we've tried on the channel. Like oak is front and center, but it is accompanied by a wonderful bouquet of other flavor profiles too. You have that peach, the savory bread, the baking spices, all of those things come in tandem with the oak. Some things I describe as a push-pull between profiles that are in good balance. This is more of like a symphony where it's a lot of things gathered together, but they create something really melodic, something organized, constructed. Now, full disclosure, this is my first time ever having Vantage, and I gotta say, I'm very pleasantly surprised by it. That's a fantastic sip. Hey, thank you so much, Thrice, for sharing this with me. I really appreciate you. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this pour, and then I'm going to put that on my shelf and enjoy the rest of that later. Yeah, if I were to give that a score per my scale, I think I would land, I'm going to say an 8.4, because it is exceptionally well done. This is fantastic whiskey, and if I see a bottle of this, I will buy it now that I know how good it is. I think the only things I could knock that might like elevate this a little bit more is, I think two things I think would take this to even a better level, but it would also increase the price. The two things are, one, I would like maybe a little bit more maturity on the bourbon itself. Like it was a little bit older and brought some more of that sort of funky warehouse and vanillins out of the wood as well. I think that mature bourbon profile would really do great in here. The only other thing I think that might elevate this even further would be if that bright fruit quality to it was just a little bit more present on the palate. It's there. I was like, man, bring that up just to turn that dial a little bit, bring it up from like a 5 to a 6, you know, in the blend. Man, I think that would elevate this even more. But that's being really nitpicky because this is an exceptional pour. Thank you again, Thrice. I appreciate your generosity. So there you have it, Barrell Vantage. Check it out. If you've never tried it before, maybe pay for a pour. If you like it, buy a bottle. Thanks as always for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like on it and subscribe for additional whiskey content. Check out our Discord. The link's in the description. You can join for free. We talk, we hang out, share stories, bottles, recommendations, all that stuff. And a big shout out to my Patreon supporters for helping fund the bottles that I get to pick up and review here on the channel. You guys are lifesavers. And if you want to get involved in that, check the link in the description. You can join for as little as $1 a month to support the channel. Cheers, my friends! May you live richly and get better with age, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.